All right, Football to 4 powered by the Inside the Birds podcast. It's brought to you by the Fanatics Sportsbook at Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City. Go for the win. For more information, visit oceanac.com. All right, the Eagles' final initial 53. We like to say initial 53. Anaya Smith, we know. Avery Williams, the kick and punt return specialist. He is the latest. It looks like Nakobe Dean is going to be on the PUP list. He tweeted out, we'll see you in week 5. Not a lot of other big names as of yet. Adam Caplan from the Inside the Birds podcast set to break it all down with us right now. As we know, Anaya Smith is probably the biggest name of the day so far, unless anything is crazy happened since you just got onto the line there, Adam.
Yeah, Mike, for those of us who really know what's going on, we're rarely surprised by anything because you kind of know where things are headed. Now, there are curveballs in there, draft picks. With Howie Roseman, the Eagles general manager, he likes to keep them, not always, but they have a high percentage of keeping the draft picks more than other teams. There might be a surprise or two. You mentioned Anaya Smith. Would not surprise me. Well, actually, it would be a surprise, but it wouldn't be a shock. If Cameron Williams, who's a right tackle, who's a 6th-round pick out of Texas, who the Eagles are very high on. I know he didn't have a great summer. He's a developmental player. That's the one that I think has a chance of surprising people. We've heard some stuff in the last week that he actually may be on the roster. We'll see. Again, we don't know yet, and we'll break in, Mike, as you and I talk here. If once the Eagles announce this stuff, we'll be able to give you what you need.
Yeah. So obviously, the one name today that I guess had a shot to make the team was Smith. Did the Mechie deal kind of seal his fate there?
It did, kind of in a way. When Howie trades for a player, why would you cut him, right? Yeah, I think that had something to do with it, no doubt. I went back and forth on Anaya Smith. I had 4 iterations of my 53-man roster. I had him off 3 times, and the last one I had him on, so I didn't get that one right. Here's the thing that disappointed me with Anaya Smith. For all we heard about the specialty plays from Texas A&M, never really saw it, Mike, in training camp. It's like with Avery Williams, who I did not have in my 53. You know what Nick Sirianni said about, he kind of bragged about him at the owners' meetings? Never saw it in training camp, Mike. That to me is a big reason why I took him off my 53-man roster.
All right. How about Avery Williams? He obviously was the guy that they signed possibly to be the return man on this team. Just never really got any traction, it felt like, during training camp.
No, that's what I was just talking about, Mike.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was Avery Williams. The thing is, let me just add one thing with Avery Williams. This guy's a former corner, transitioned to receiver. He's a smaller guy, but got really good short area quickness. And the other thing that disappointed me was you didn't sign to be a backup personal protector. They signed him to return punts and or kicks, or both, and to be a sort of gadgety specialty receiver. Didn't see anything out of that. And by the way, Britton Covey was waived by the Rams. I just wanted to add that part to what we just talked about. Gotcha. Dylan McMahon, by the way, former Eagle, was also waived by the Rams.
All right, so some of the names that we obviously know already. We mentioned Anaya Smith, Avery Williams. And then yesterday, there were some names that already came out. The one would be in the quarterback, Kyle McCord. Kind of get your thoughts on the quarterback situation. They went out and traded for Sam Howell. Was that more they just didn't like what they saw from McCord, or was that more the injury where, Tanner McKee might not be able to play the first week or so?
McCord was not going to be on this football team. It had nothing to do with Howell. To start now, let me just explain something. You and I have known each other for a number of years. I came up with the phrase, this one. I know Andrew DiCecco likes it. Jeff likes it. OTAs are AA baseball. I put nothing into it, literally nothing. Show me whatever you did in the offseason that you could do it in training camp. Well, that was the problem with Kyle McCord. Couldn't do it. Just did not look right in training camp. He's the kind of guy, Mike, if he does not get the ball out of his hands quickly, he just can't function because he does not drive the ball downfield at all. And he just never looked good, to be honest with you. That's why I didn't have him in my 53 when the three of us did our show on Monday morning. Couldn't put him on there. He didn't deserve to be on it. I know he's a quarterback. Look, there's a realistic chance he doesn't get claimed tomorrow. We'll know by the waiver claims have to be in by 12 o'clock. We'll know by 12:15 tomorrow whether he gets claimed. But I just didn't see it, Mike. I got to be honest with you. I know the Eagles were disappointed. A lot of people who knew Kyle growing up, from the area.
Yeah.
Just never happened for him, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and then, Eli Ricks was a corner. He's been here for a couple of years. The fact that they got rid of him and kept some of these other guys at a position that I guess is not firmly decided yet. Not a huge surprise there, but it shows you that he was at least behind the other group of guys that doesn't even have a definitive winner right now.
Yeah, it is. Well, if the season starts, this week or next week, and it starts next week, Adoree Jackson will be starting opposite Mitchell. But Mike, it's not good enough. Adoree Jackson's okay as a placeholder. It's just not good enough, and we kind of know. Like, Mike, we've talked about Keely Ringo now for 3 years. If he's on the roster, it's A, because he was drafted. B, it's because he'll play special teams where he's really good. Ringo turned out to be exactly what I said he would be, more of a fourth corner, if you have your druther, so to speak. He just didn't perform, and Adoree Jackson's okay. Ideally, you'd rather have better length. He could still run, by the way. That was a big thing for him to show he could still run. He can. But they're just not good enough at that corner position. We've said on our show that they were looking into it to see if they could find a corner that would be a potential upgrade over Jackson. Doesn't look like it's happened, but let me make this perfectly clear. Free agency is not over. You have the rest in September, October. You also have the trade deadline. The Eagles know that they have to be better corner opposite Mitchell. And if the opportunity presents itself, we know that they'll try to get it done. We'll see.
All right, Adam Caplan's here, Football at 4. Nothing crazy so far. Yesterday, Kenyon Green, they did trade for him. He was part of that C.J. Gardner-Johnson trade, but that got to tell you that has to tell you that he really must have struggled. As you said, you traded for the guy. You didn't even think to keep him around and further develop him.
You nailed it, Mike. That tells you. Transactions always tell a story. If the team cut the player, who's, by the way, subject to waivers, they clearly don't want him. Kenyon Green just never did anything. He rarely ran with the twos. I think when he came back, he did from a shoulder injury. It just didn't work out. And with Gardner Johnson, it was $8.5 million, Mike. As we noted at the time of the trade, like they were looking at shed cash, and then they drafted Makuba to replace him. Who, by the way, could wind up being a better football player. Look, these guys never played in an NFL game yet, regular season. You got to see the thing through before people overreact to that. He can't be better than CJ. He actually has better size. He's a little bit longer. He's got really good ball skills, but we're not going to know about Makuba. And by the way, he's come back from his second injury now. We're not going to know about him for a while in terms of how good of a pro he'll be.
All right, so you mentioned that Covey got cut, Avery Williams got cut, Anaya Smith got cut.
Yeah.
Do you go out and make a call to Covey? I mean, who's the punt returner? Who's the return man on this team right now?
Right, I know. In fact, Jeff and I were texting about this. We were kind of joking, like, A.J. Dillon we know could return kicks, as he did in training camp. So, that guy could come from the practice squad. You just elevate him, whether it's Taylor Morin, Anaya Smith reclaims waivers, you sign him to the practice squad. They'll have somebody returning punts and kicks, Mike. That'll happen. So there'll literally be dozens of punt returners available Wednesday that either not claim through waivers who hit the street or veterans that are cut. But it's a fair point. Well, you got to get somebody. Now, it doesn't mean Avery Williams won't go back to the Eagles practice squad. We'll see. They owe him a little bit. There's some guaranteed money. But that Avery Williams one, definitely disappointing. I shouldn't listen to Sirianni. I'm not saying he did want. Look, he made a statement. He spoke about the guy for 3 minutes. He clearly wanted something to happen.
Yeah.
But it never happened, Mike. And by the way, John Mechie.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mechie he can do. As someone personnel guy told me, he definitely could return punts if you want him to. But that's not what you would want him to do, to be honest with you.
There was a running back that they got from San Francisco during one of the OTAs like 2 years ago that Sirianni singled out, and everyone's like, "Oh, he singled him out," and then he got cut. I can't even remember who ended it. Did he play for the Colts last year?
Ty Davis-Price?
I don't think that's.
Trey Sermon.
Yes, Trey Sermon. Yes.
He actually did. Look, here's what happened. He got hurt. If you remember, it was. I can't remember now. I'd have to look it up. He definitely got hurt. Like the injury, I was told was real. He either got hurt in the preseason or regular season. I don't remember. Then you're right, Mike. You mentioned the Colts. He actually went to the Colts and had to play a little bit. But yeah, it's look at the time. Coaches say what they feel, and it just never happened.
Right.
This free agency class, Mike, for the most part, has not quite worked out like the Eagles hoped it would. Some are going to make it, like Matt Pryor, But some really did not make it. 4 or 5 of these guys just simply have not performed.
All right, couple minutes left with Adam. I know the press conference is coming up in about 5 minutes. Killian Robinson, Montrell Johnson, Shunderick Powell, they cut those running backs. I would imagine that they're going to stick with Dillon, Will Shipley, and obviously Saquon. But any of those guys stand out enough that the Eagles would like to try to bring them back?
Yeah, Montrell Johnson, if he is not claimed off waivers, I would expect them to try to sign him back. Now, just to understand, once you clear waivers, you're free to sign with any team that you want to. I would expect the Eagles to have some competition for him. Montrell Johnson can return kicks, by the way.
Okay.
E.J. Jenkins, if he clears waivers tomorrow, I certainly could see him signed to the practice squad. And now here's the other problem. Now, we don't know about Kylan Granson. He's an athlete. He doesn't block well enough. So, Mike, we know that Jack Stoll and Calcaterra filled in for 2 years when Goddard got hurt. They need to find what's called a wide tight end, an inline tight end.
Yeah.
Jenkins could do some of it. He's a better blocker than Calcaterra, but Calcaterra's a better football player. That's why Jenkins was cut.
All right, so there's a little bit on the tight end situation there. And then really the last thing, Andre Sam was a name. I know Andrew liked him a lot, and that's another spot, safety, where maybe they're not done kicking tires around?
Well, Mike, right now, and again, they haven't released it, but we know it's Brown, it's Blankenship, it's Makuba, and probably Christian McCullum. You're never going to keep 5 safeties unless one of them could play nickel. Now, we know Makuba could do it. They did not have him do it in training camp. He played a little bit of dime. I don't see them keeping 5. I'd just be surprised. I just don't see it. I had McCollum over Sam. Now, we know Andrew reported yesterday that Sam was cut. We're assuming McCollum made it. Again, the Eagles have not released their initial 53, or we call the fluid 53.
Yeah.
That's the best thing because it's going to change. It always has and always will, Mike. But
that is for sure.
I'm looking forward to finding out. I think we're all me, Jeff, and Andrew have the 60 linemen: Ojomo, Davis, Carter, Young, Robinson, Gabe Hall.
Yeah,
we're expecting that. Now, Azeez Ojulari, because of his contract, probably will make it. But if he doesn't, boy, that would tell you they clearly were willing to eat the money. That's going to be a fascinating one, whether Azeez Ojulari makes it or not.
Yeah, the last guy that had a little bit of buzz was Terrace Marshall, and I guess could he be the who was the guy they signed last year from the Colts? Another Colt guy that I can't remember. The wide receiver, the veteran.
Paris Campbell.
There you go. Could he be a Paris Campbell?
Yeah, on the practice squad, Mike. I'll tell you what. He had great OTAs again, off season. Training camp, got off to a good start then and got hurt. And when he came back, just didn't have the juice that he once had. So, to me right now, Mike, John Mechie, Darius, now, unless they pull a surprise, we've been expecting for 3 weeks, or actually 2 weeks, Darius Cooper to make it. Should be at receiver Brown, Dotson, Smith, obviously. Cooper, Mechie, and they may only keep 5, Mike.
Yeah.
They may only keep 5. We will see. Actually, right now, I think 5 seems to be fairly certain at this point.
This is Football at 4. He's Adam Caplan from the Inside the Birds podcast, which you can get on all podcasting platforms with reaction to the initial 53. Adam, appreciate it, man.
Thanks, man.